I guess it wouldn't make sense to have the captain go out, huh?
No.
Or the acting captain.
Yeah.
But just that we spent the whole first episode here proving that Reinhardt is better at all of this than they are.
Yeah.
And now we need somebody to go out there to possibly save the ship and do all this stuff. And it's like, hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. Theta here, alongside Lessons. We're back with another episode of Legend of Galactic Heroes. We are on, I believe, the last episode of Mutineer. I mean, any thoughts from last time?
Well, we're about to see who was. Well, here's the one problem also with this, which is good but also bad, is that we kind of know that these are backstories for these characters. So it isn't so much of what happens, but how it happens, right?
I mean, the thing that kind of made Gang's whole thing worthwhile was the conceit that a bunch of these people may come back later.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just something that hasn't really happened yet when it comes to Reinhardt, considering that they have a habit of dying without surrendering.
Yeah, so who's gonna come back? Who knows, right? If they survive at all, right?
Well, I mean, somebody from Reinhardt's side has to survive first for them to come back. Because, I mean, again, we could end this one. I mean, it would be hilarious if, you know, he gets transferred off the ship, gets promoted, and then we say 6 months later they went into a combat and then died without surrendering.
Yeah. Which would make Reinhardt a good man of the people, after all.
Well, that's nothing to do with him if he gets transferred away.
Yeah, but
what happens to the place you leave after you leave it is not your responsibility.
It's a severe protagonist effect.
I mean, at worst, it makes him an albatross.
Yeah, he's so important that when he's there, they always win. When he leaves, everybody dies.
I mean, we had that on Yang's side. Remember, there was the guy who loses one out of every 3 fights he's in.
Yeah, but it's still
so everyone writes a will. Well, you know, we're in our second out of third fights. I think the next fight we get into, we're supposed to lose. So I'm writing home to let you know that I love you and I might never see you again.
Yeah. But other people also were involved, and there were other protagonists. So it's like it didn't hinge only on him, right? I'm saying that where Reinhard is, if Reinhard is there, they win. They win. The moment Reinhard has exit stage left, you're all dead.
Well, this is a Douglas Adams thing, right? This is Arthur. I forgot we already had this whole conversation. This is Arthur before he sees the bug guy who tells him that he dies in the bar. Yeah. And Reinhardt hasn't been to the bar yet.
Yeah.
So we don't know if he's going to win every battle. We know he's not going to die in it.
Yeah. So we had 100 episodes to go. More than that, really.
Yeah, so it's literally everybody else that's at threat. Yeah. And the fact is that we don't have any side characters to Reinhardt except for Siegfried. So Siegfried is the only one who can really be in any danger.
And Reinhardt's sister, but...
Yeah, fair. I guess she could die in the backstory. Could be the motivator for the actual story. But then I would think that she would die just before the main story so that we would get him in the motivated position.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't make much sense to have her die halfway through the backstory. And then, you know, I guess unless really he has to get a long way to where he starts, like if he starts the show as the Emperor or something.
I mean, it could be that he leads a revolution against the Emperor and becomes a new Emperor, right?
Oh, I think you have him confused with Lelouch. It's a joke I made with no confidence because I'd never seen Code Geass.
Yeah, I know the premise of it, but I see that guy like.
The most I know about it is he has a power to control people's minds or something with his eye.
Yeah.
I think I saw the first episode and I didn't like the animation style, so I left. The weird football heads, they're all like Peanuts characters.
Yeah.
Or Stewie Griffin, I guess.
Hey, mama, mommy.
It's been great clipped out of context.
Yeah. Anyway, you're really dangerous out of context clips. I'm gonna tell you that much. You know,
Oh yeah, says the guy who "Did you lick that cat?" is your most famous clip on Twitch right now.
I wasn't doing that. He was doing
Yeah,
that. I
you're
was
just the one
calling him
who
out.
called him out on a live stream
Yeah,
for it. Did you just lick that
this is
cat?
so weird.
Instead of like, carefully taking him aside after the game was over. By the way, during the session, did you lick that cat? Live in the middle of the game, asking him a
It was
question,
shocking.
and he's looking over his stuff to give you an answer. And you're like, hold on, I was like, did you lick that cat?
You would have had the same thing. I'm sure of it. I just got there first.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, honestly, I was there, didn't say a word. To be fair, I don't think I actually noticed.
Yeah,
That's
it was
why I had
weird.
to clip it, because I had to go back and fucking find it. Like, what is he talking about? I'm just saying, man. Can't call
It's
me out
just
on
so
this shit.
weird.
You do the same thing.
Yeah, but I don't clip it out and put it out for distribution.
It's funny.
It is.
Funny is
And
good.
He did look like he was licking the cat, even though he wasn't.
Yeah, it's very weird if you open your mouth wide open when you think over to look good. And it just happens to be an animal right here.
And the cat is just crossing over.
No, it wasn't even crossing over. The cat was just there the whole
He's
time.
there. Yeah.
You gotta go breath in of this cat while I'm reading.
Smell. I heard a puppy smell, but what is it? Puppy breath. Never heard of smelling cats. So.
Yeah, I don't know. Also, it was just his birthday the other day. If you didn't say anything,
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed it.
that's fine. I mean, I wished him an early birthday by a day, because I always know that I have put out everyone's birthday that I know on my calendar. So, and I always look at it and then forget anyway. Like, oh, it's his birthday coming up. I gotta make sure to wish him a happy birthday. And like 3 days later, fuck, I knew it too. I fucking knew. So I wished him a happy birthday early, and he never got back to me either way. So I put the effort out there.
Anyway, we're getting into this
Let's
episode.
hop
See
on
what
into
happens.
it. Ready? Did you say anything?
But before we get started,
Make sure that you hit the like button.
Hit that subscribe button.
Comment down below to feed that algorithm.
on top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this,
Unfiltered.
Uncensored.
And uncut.
as well as some early access stuff,
You can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
Sorry, I'm just thinking, yeah, mom. Yes. Mom.
This is gonna be horrible.
I think the most that you can always count on from me is that I am eminently lazy, so I will probably forget.
Yeah, well,
I mean that, and I do have a lot of editing to do, and that takes time out of my editing of other shit. Because I still have like 4 things from yesterday that I still need to get done. Because the unfortunate bit about editing all the audio in post is that I spend like 2 or 3 hours just like, does that sound better? No. Does that sound better? Oh, is there a bit of like a weird bass thing going on here? Do I still hear like a fizzing noise, or is that just me pronouncing F's weirdly? Like, I just spend hours.
one thing I noticed about this is we see Siegfried as an older person, apparently, in the pictures.
Do we?
But Reinhard, yeah. If you go back, you see an older
Well, I
Siegfried,
can't go
but
back. We're watching live.
True. But
It seems that I don't think you're right.
No, you think it's somebody else?
Well, all the images are from their backstory things, so it couldn't be an older Siegfried. It has to be. I don't know how much. I don't know what the age difference is between them. 16-year-old Siegfried. I'm assuming they're the same age.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not debating that it is Siegfried. It just has to be as old as Siegfried is. At least by whatever time Gaiden ends. Or this specific arc of Gaiden. And by arc, I don't mean the storyline, I mean the season of Gaiden. Also, yes, we have anchors on our spaceships.
Makes sense. If they want to attach them to some.
I just mean by the fact that they keep calling it like the Navy, that for some reason they're seamen instead of spacemen like they get called before. No, last time they were called seamen for some reason. I pointed it out because all the other times I've said spacemen.
一気に敵の包囲網を突破しようというのである。だが、それは大きな賭けだった。接近中の敵の動きは眼界の影になってつかめませんが、向こうからも視覚になっているはずです。
I like that they put it in 3 dimensions. Well, 2.5, I guess. 2 planes.
できればシュミット一等兵を環境に上げてほしい。
I see seamen again.
アルトミュールの観測に当たらせたい。
Said Reinhard on the wedding night. Sorry, previous conversation that I probably edited out. Looks like a number 2 to me. Sorry, I think my humor has gone to the gutter.
Literally.
I don't know, lessons. I don't take shits in the gutter. Literally, I know you want to pose me. One, not only for your chain of command thing, but literally the entire crew already turned against you, so I know you cannot rise up against me again.
Literally, that's what, yeah.
Unless he tries to blow himself up. In which case, fuck that guy. I don't know what else there is to do. And remember, the chief engineer was already said, I'm neutral in this whole thing anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's this weird other ship here called the Macross 7. Yeah, I was about to say, remember, they're all about to get shirtless and pour water on themselves.
Yeah. Oh, they're doing it. Well, they're translating to Fahrenheit.
Unless that's just the Imperial unit.
あと1時間で構成引力圏からの離脱可能軌道を超えます。これより先は機関出力を最大にしても離脱できなくなります。作戦を続行。注意。環境からの退出許可を。暑さのせいか体調が悪い。医務室へ行ってくる。了解した。
Did I miss something? Where's the big old rupture thing behind the... Oh, never mind. That's where the explosion that caused the captain to get injured. Never mind. I just forgot where it came from.
He's gonna try to escape? With the sun that nearby?
Well, because they're very close to no return for the gravity well of the sun, but I'm assuming he thinks he can still shoot backwards away from the ship and surrender to the Alliance. Well, I'll just be here all day.
Is that the shadow? Oh, yeah, shadow of the...
No, I literally was just talking about it. That's where the explosion happened, where the captain got hit in the back by shrapnel. Yeah, I didn't remember it for a second either, and I just talked it out loud at you. I guess you weren't listening.
俺は生き延びたいだけなんだ。脱出ポッドが射出されてから救難信号を出すまでにタイムラグがあるな。約5秒ありますが。砲術長、ポッド射出5秒以内に対空砲による撃墜は可能か。可能か。可能ですが射撃用意。待ってくれ。デューリングは今まで一番あんたに協力的だったじゃないか。今敵に本艦の存在を蹴取られるわけにはいかない。射撃用意。対空砲。
I mean, this feels unnecessary.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, all you have to do is wait another couple of minutes, and then you'll be in the gravity well of the sun, and his escape pod will burn up. It's literally just keep Siegfried here, pushing buttons for a little bit longer.
Roman numeral.
Also, stop with an extra P.
Yeah.
どうすればいいんだよ。俺はどうすればいいんだよ。どうすれば。済んだようです。
Again, it could have also been resolved just by waiting a little bit longer.
How about I think he did?
No, instead they said they were very close to the sun's gravity well of no point of no
Yeah.
return. He wouldn't have launched his escape pod into the sun.
それだけでも敵に発見されたかもしれない。最善の結果だった。
Yeah, the realization that he wasn't actually going to do it. I mean, that we know that Alliance prisoners of war, I mean, Imperial prisoners of war aren't treated all that badly. We spent a whole arc on that planet.
Sure, but we don't know what propaganda they're told from the Imperial side. We know that, but they don't know. Well, I guess they would know if people return.
Yeah,
When
remember,
people
it's not
return-
even people that people return. They also have like a letter service going back and forth where they get items.
そろそろ機関の修理が終わる頃だが。作業完了。こっちも終わりました。
起動テストを開始する。メインエンジン点火シミュレーション用意。用意よし。
There we have it. The shirtless scene. Just because. I mean, I know it's hot, but still. It's like.
点火確認。よっしゃー。今実際に点火するわけにいかんから、あくまでコンピューター上のシミュレーションだが。
Let's all cheer for the simulation.
何？
どうした？
指定制御スラスターの一機が作動せん。スラスターの13番だ。これは至近に直撃を。
Bertrand, that's the one you were working on, wasn't it?
本来なら外部から補修したかったんだが、内部の回路のバイパス。
Sorry, I didn't realize that Reinhardt and Siegfried had the power of teleportation.
実際一度テストした時はそれでいけた。
Which is the background of any scene that requires this.
外部から修理するしかないか。
無理だ。すでに外に出られる状態じゃない。船外作業服の耐熱限界を超えてる。
スラスターが一機使えなくてもなんとかなるのだ。
無理だな。攻勢風を受けるとき、艦尾をアルトミールに向ける必要がある。13番が使えないと。
艦をロールさせて13番を影にする。さらに太陽電池パネルで光を吸収させて、その影で作業すればできるかもしれない。可能なのか？お待ちください。
Well, conversely,
10分以内ならば。
he also just said that they only need it so that they can turn into the star.
あんたは信用できねえ。
So turn the other direction with the other thrusters that work.
修理をする役と最低2人は必要です。
だったらブント、お前一緒に来い。
俺船外作業は苦手だし、 今さらおじけづくな。そうじゃない。自信がないんだ。失敗したらみんなおしまいなんだぞ。
やはり私が行く。もう一度だけ信用してほしい。
I guess it wouldn't make sense to have the captain go out, huh?
No.
わかった。
Or the acting captain.
Yeah.
But just that we spent the whole first episode here proving that Reinhardt is better at all of this than they are.
Yeah.
And now we need somebody to go out there to possibly save the ship and do all this stuff. And it's like, we spent the first episode showing how good Reinhardt is at this.
Yeah, but I think it's also supposed to be a way to redeem the first officer. Secunda.
Yeah, it's weird spelling for that one. That used to be the name of my computer, but with a C and an A instead of an E. Secunda. You'll never guess which computer of mine it was for, though. The second one.
第三小惑星帯の外側。距離があるじゃないか。ですが我々の存在を察知している模様。追尾してきます。先ほどの姿勢制御スラスターの噴射に気づいたか。だが安全軌道より中には入ってこないだろう。
Yeah, they probably won't dive into the sun to kill us.
But they'll still shoot from a distance, I suppose. Depending on the range of, effective range of the weapons.
Well, they still have to close the distance, and we don't know. Never mind. Let's hope they're heat-seeking. Well, that's not a good sign. Hands melting the hull.
ミサイル着弾まで30秒。来ました。表面爆発です。姿勢制御開始。キルヒャイス、衝撃に備えさせろ。
I mean, if Rolf dies, then having Alanus, yeah, just fucking die out here too. Just kind of puts it into that whole family line.
Here comes the sun.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize the other person in the airlock was somebody catching him. I'm like, how did he get burnt up and then came back? It's funny because I was just literally answering a question in yesterday's stream from about Mushoku Tensei about redemption and can people change and all that shit.
Yeah.
And my whole point being that redemption is a social construct. Other people have to accept that you can be redeemed for redemption to happen. You cannot self-redeem. That was differently animated.
Yeah.
That was
CGI.
I would say that's good old Windows loading screen. I legit thought that was the ending thing for a second.
こちらは駆逐艦ハーメルンツバイ 艦長代理ラインハルト・フォン・ミューゼル注意。
こちらはメルカツ艦隊所属レーダープロジェクト巡航艦シュベン。要請を了解した。すでに
That name sounds familiar.
合流された。
Mercats? Mercats?
That's
ハーメルンツバイ了解。来園を感謝する。やったな。
助かった。もう大丈夫。
やったやった。
Yata!
助かったのか俺たちは。
Oh, really gonna enjoy that court martial, I hope.
no. Are they gonna court martial him?
I mean, when he gets back, I mean, he very much just tried to desert.
True. Oh, he lost an eye.
Or it's getting healed.
怪我人に負担をかけるなと言っとるのにも。ドクトル、どうなっているね。あんたの見立て通りだ。あの坊やがやってわしらは助かった。間もなく味方と合流できる。そうか。副長は死んだよ。機関を修理して部下を助けて自ら犠牲になった。
Yeah, I guess technically we needed him at the end.
最後まで立派な士官だった。
Like the repair wouldn't have been done without him as well.
Yeah.
そういうことだな。
アルトミュール構成形に侵入した同盟軍艦隊はハーメルンツバイからの知らせで帝国軍一個艦隊が駆けつけたため
Okay, I was wrong
そ
then.
して撤退した。ラインファルト・フォン・ミューゼル中尉は艦長と副長が不在の艦をよく指揮し、部隊の中でただ一隻正艦せしめただけでなく敵の侵入を通報し、その侵入の意図をくじくことに功績大であったとして昇進が伝達された。ありがたく拝命しますが、よろしいのでしょうか。
何のことだね。
将官は反乱罪に問われるものと思っておりましたが。
私の艦で反乱など起こったことはないよ。私は昏睡していたのでね、報告書の時系列が多少前後しておるかもしれんが、君が艦の指揮を取ったのは私の指示によるものだ。それでいいのではないかね。
Yeah, technically, according to my orders, you were always in command of the ship.
人間というのは不便なものでね、誰も皆互いの身分、立場、肩書きといったものから自由では。
Oh, that's not true. It's difficult though, unless you can trust a system that is designed specifically to keep people in their caste. And even then.
当初君のことは見誤っていた。グリューネワルト伯爵夫人の弟、16歳の中尉、幼年学校首席の優等生。幸い私は貴族といっても門閥とは程遠い男爵で、貴族社会にどっぷり使っているわけでもない。軍隊も中途入隊で他の世間も知っている。おかげで多少なりとも偏見のフィルターの取り去り方を心得ているつもりだ。
それで私に指揮を。
理由をつければそういうことになるかな。ところで今後どうするね。私の艦でもちょうど副長が空席になっているが。
Get my sights set higher than that.
それがいいだろうな。君に今さら軍隊以外の世間を見ろと言っても仕方あるまいし、せめて軍隊の中でいろいろな部署を経験するべきだ。私から推薦状を書いておこう。
ありがとうございます。
では下がっていい。
その日、ラインハルト・フォン・ミューゼル中尉の大尉への昇進とともに、殉職したハルトマン・ベルトラム大尉とロルフ・ザイデル二等兵の2階級特進が発表された。
Yep, post-mortem double
4
promotions.
日後、軍務省の
As
内
per.
勤への転属が決まったラインハルトとキルヒアイスは、短い勤務先であったハーメルンツバイを後にした。
退官許可を。
許可する。
退官許可を。
許可する。
No, you stay.
公会長。
Yep, see? Just healing an eye.
我らが公会長殿と我
Such a better story than Gang has gotten so far.
True.
はいラインハルト様
Are they on a space? I thought they were in a space station. I guess they're on the ground somewhere because they're sky. Or the space station is so big that it has its own atmosphere.
帝国歴482年9月ラインハルト・フォン・ミューゼルは駆逐艦ハーメルン・ツバイを後にした在任1ヶ月
Yeah, the space station is so big it has its own atmosphere.
I think I know where they are, but I don't remember if they said it on screen, so I'm not going to spoil that.
They're in the fortress, right? They said something about their station in the fortress.
Right. Again, I think they'll cover it better later, so I'm not going to, ruin anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like I said, it feels like Reinhardt is earning his shit,
Mhm.
through conflict and struggle. Or not
Yeah.
specifically, because obviously Gang prefers not to fight and kill people in order to be promoted or get his hero titles.
Yeah.
Gang is doing, one-off shit that's earning him, the hero Alpha Seal or the hero of... I forgot the Prison Planet's name.
Prison
all of a sudden.
Planet, yeah.
Well, it has, he earned a title because of that, too. And
Mhm.
it's one-off shit. Whereas we're with Reinhardt the entire fucking struggle.
Yeah.
So that when it's over and it's and then he got promoted for it and left. And it's well, it's a bit weird, but I can understand getting promoted, especially when everybody around him is dead. So literally there's a bunch of empty positions for him to fill.
Mhm.
So it's more like he's filling the position of somebody who's gone and then leaving, transferring out of it.
Yeah.
So it makes a logical sense. 3 times 3 plus what? Damn you, math. But yeah, let's see if they show us what the actual next time should be in the chronological order. They've done it before.
Are we going back to Yang or are we keeping with Reinhardt?
I would suspect Yang, because I think next is supposed to be the Duelist. And we've gotten 8 episodes of them now. Oh, how many did we hit with Yang? Was it 12?
Yeah, 12.
So we might be back with them again.
軍務省の内勤を命ぜられうつうつとした日を過ごしていたラインハルトは姉アンネローゼの友人であるシャフハウゼン子爵夫妻が決闘を挑まれているという苦境を聞きその代理人となることを引き受けてしまう
She's directly in the action now?
銀河英雄伝説外伝決闘者第1話守るべきものは誇りか夢かそれとも愛か
Pride. So yeah, he has desk work now, so that implies that he is in a place he doesn't want to be, as I just said. So it seems to me this is going to be, we did ground combat, we did space combat, now he's going to be in the realm of noble combat.
Yeah.
It's literally called the Duelist.
Yes. Yeah, so he has to master all the aspects of being a noble and a military leader.
Yeah, we're literally watching him explore every avenue of combat available to him, including social combat. Whereas Gang went on vacation twice.
Yeah.
It really puts the characters into perspective. Reinhardt is a fucking struggle all the way up. Because of somebody else's relationship, by the way.
Yeah.
Whereas Yang leant against a wall for a little bit too long.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, give this job to somebody who has too much time on their hands. That guy's leaning. Should have been cleaning.
Mm-hmm.
Got time to lean, you got time to clean.
Yeah. I hated that phrase. Still do.
Yeah. I guess I was just always responsible for cleaning, so I had no problem with it. But yeah.
So it was a good ending. A bit predictable that the lieutenant would die to
the son.
Yeah, no, but to redeem himself, I think that's kind of that's the real problem that I have with his.
As I said, though, redemption is a social contract, though. Construct. Redemption is a social construct. So I keep saying contract last time I said this too. I don't know, it's weird. C word in
there
my
is
head.
a social contract, but not.
Well, I
I
think it's more
suppose
of a
redemption
social
is-
construct than a contract. Because a contract means it's prearranged going into it. But you can't know ahead of time if something you're going to do is going to receive you redemption. So,
But it does happen because the captain is like, oh, he died in the line of duty. We're not going to mention anything about the mutiny. It never happened, right?
well, it's the same thing Marshall did.
Yeah. And so, but the thing is, like, you have the heel turn, and then it's like, oh, well, I think the missed opportunity here is that when he was being reasonable, he had some good arguments. The moment was like, no, we're all going to die because that's what the orders say. I'm like, oh, wow, reasonableness just went out the window. You're just going to be the bad guy. You became the designated bad guy, right? That's how it felt.
When was he being reasonable?
When the guy was approaching him saying, oh, we're going to try this. It's like, listen, that's untried. The argument that he made is like, this is too risky and I'm not going to risk the lives of everybody in the
from the
ship
beginning, he called it an armchair theory that he wasn't going to go with.
Yeah, because the feeling was that, these things are too risky and would risk the life of the entire crew on lack of experience, right? He has the experience. So he's making the experience argument, which is reasonable in itself. Like, I have this experience and I'm applying it to the situation right now. And Reinhard is doing the Hail Mary, I'm a military genius kind of.
Well, I'm talking about earlier on, back when they were in the engineering room, and he originally came to him. He's like, I have an idea. And he's like, okay, tell me your idea. And he hears him out. And he says,
yeah, he does.
That is unreasonable.
Yeah.
That is, you don't, according to everything I know, one, about you, which is to say, you didn't even graduate from university. And two, this has never been tried before. It would be easier, since my goal here is to make sure that information doesn't fall into enemy hands, if we just fucking scuttle the ship, destroy it.
Yeah, but he hadn't said that yet. Later on, he says like,
well, no, I mean, he literally takes two people aside from the bridge crew and says, this is the plan I'm going to go with. So he literally hears out an alternative plan, dismisses it due to evidence that he has that it probably won't work, and then consults two other members of his crew to tell them what the orders will be before he announces it to anybody else. So he does take a reasonable step of action that I don't feel like he even had to do. As the commanding officer, he could have just been like, out of the blue, just fucking starts giving orders to the effect of, we're gonna destroy ourselves.
Yeah, but it felt like it felt like all of a sudden it's like, oh no, we're gonna blow ourselves up. It's like, oh, that's the manual says that. It was like, no, we're like, well, shit, but what? Can we surrender? No, we can't surrender. It's like,
well, I mean, if you're trying to withhold information from the enemy, surrender is like the least option. How many people on this crew are gonna fucking talk? You also, by the way, they're gonna get the ship.
Probably not the first. I mean, even the ship was not like top of the line or anything like that. So
it doesn't matter. It's not the point. You don't want the enemy getting any leg up on you, because who knows? They might be more up to date information on this ship, regardless of how old it is. Not like new tech or anything, but like fleet movements or whatever.
Yeah, but by the time the information gets to where it needs to go, it's probably outdated anyway.
See, that's you making excuses.
No, it's like that's the problem with intelligence. It's not real time or near real time. It might have been accurate.
You can't even say that. We can't even say that because literally Bruce Ashby is our example against that. Where literally there's an intelligence network that has to be feeding him old information because it has to, one, travel from the Empire, get to his Imperial contacts inside the Alliance, then find its way to whatever fleet engagement he's at, no matter where he's at. So we already know that whole line of communications network, time delayed as it may be, is still pretty effective. But I mean, I'm saying it's you making excuses because you're reaching beyond what was in the episode to say why this wouldn't work.
I mean, it still feels like they force him to be the bad guy, right? And then it's like, oh, well, he failed, so we're going to kill him.
Well, he's the bad
Like,
guy to our characters. He wasn't the bad guy
Yeah.
to the faction or anything like that. He wasn't like Herder, who was like trying to assassinate him and then up his own status. This guy was like doing what the manual says. So
And we never also got to see a solution to why the ship just moved suddenly. That was something that happened. It's like,
well, I mean, that's, again, subjective fact.
yeah, but we never got a verification of whether that was true or not. It's like, oh,
Also, I
guess
assume that could come into play later.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're going to get another, because it looks like we're going to no port, and it kind of looked like, what was her name, Shasina? So, we could get another scene of her and Glacier. The guy that we hired to kill him appears to have gotten promoted twice and stopped talking to us.
Yeah. Or died, because he died.
Yes, that's exactly what I was implying. It feels like if we were having like some sort of subterfuge, you would give it all away by me sending you like a coy message and you being like, yes, we will kill the president at noon. And like, what the fuck are you doing? I said, he got promoted twice and stopped talking to us. And you're like, yeah, or he died. I'm like, they get promoted twice when they die. It's literally what I said. And then they stopped talking to us because they were dead. I said it in this clever way that kind of, not even clever, by the way, it was like on point, exactly what happened. And you're like, no, maybe it's because he died. So the assassination's at noon, is it? That's it. Fisticuffs at dawn.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, a lot of action. I like the action, but I still have this feeling that it was
better than Yang's slot. Yes, it was. Or did you want to hear a computer tell a backstory, Yang think out a backstory, and then an old man sipping tea say all 3 times the same backstory? Yeah. Oh, and then flashback to watch said described backstory actually happen.
They go to a prison so someone else can tell him the whole backstory, the real backstory.
To be fair, the prison thing was probably the only part of it that actually needed to happen.
Yeah.
Because that guy was also the guy who told us about, sorry, not Muckenberger. Muckenberger was the family line that hates the Ashbys, which doesn't matter anymore because Ashby didn't have any kids. So,
yeah.
And 2 ex-wives that apparently were fine with him cheating. To be fair, Ashby probably has a ton of kids that don't know that they're Ashbys. No, what was I saying?
I don't know. You tell me.
Well, hopefully you would know what I was saying because you were paying attention.
You were saying about the Ashbys, and before that...
Yes, before that.
We were talking about Aang's wasting his time.
Oh, no, I was saying that the prison planet was probably the most important bit because the old guy was telling us about... God, the 2 intelligence officers whose name is suddenly escaping my mind.
The 2 admirals, yeah.
The one starts with an M, which is probably why I went to what's his name? Yeah, the one that switches sides, deserts, whatever, and the other one that stays on the other side and do the intelligence network thing, because those are the things that basically establish what might have been going on with Ashby. But it's not like set in stone. Also gets sealed for, what, 20 years?
I think it was 50 years.
Some amount of time.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Ultimately pointless. Unlike the Reinhardt stories, which literally end on a point and then tell us what happened. Mm-hmm. Well, to be fair, the ship didn't die. We literally left the ship behind, and it looks almost good as new.
Oh, they're repairing it.
Well, I mean, it looked horrible after it fell into the sun, like literally to the point where a guy put his hands on the ship. Like, I thought they were going to do like a little wrap-up thing where like they left that there. like his handprints would always be on the ship now, but it looks like they just fucking repaired the whole thing. So
Yeah.
never mind about being sentimental.
No. The commoner's hand, anyways. Who cares?
Well, to be fair, the guys repairing the ship are probably commoners,
True.
so they would.
If they knew this, well, if they knew the story, and it's like, oh, it's a handprint. Okay. We told to
Yes.
fix it. We're gonna fix it. Yeah. I don't. If they knew the story, maybe they would try to leave the handprint, but that would imply.
See, it also feels like kind of like the setup for a
Mhm.
side story that I know we're not going to get because we already covered it. You would
Yeah.
start the episode with like a repair crew fixing a ship, and be like, look at this. Someone's fucking handprints are in the metal. How the hell does that happen? Let me
Also
tell you a
footprints as
little
well.
story. This is the setup to like that movie Life.
Mhm.
You know, Eddie Murphy and Martin, not
Yeah.
Martin Short. Martin, what's his last name?
Much a short.
No. You know, he was literally on the television show Martin.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking
He's
about.
in Bad Boys too. Or
Yeah.
Bad Boys as well.
Bad Boys, Bad Boy 2, Bad Boys 2 again. Yeah,
I think so, isn't he?
yeah. I forgot his last name though, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's not. What is Martin's last name?
Check Google voice Bad Boys. I don't think it's with an S though.
Yeah, Will Smith, Joe Pantaleone, Theresa Randall, Taya Leone. Martin's not in the first 4 people in the cast. How the hell does that happen? He's a co-star. Martin Lawrence, by the way.
Martin Lawrence.
I had to
Yeah.
get that up from Vibe Magazine YouTube video.
Damn.
Google does not think he is in the top 4 people. That movie.
Wow.
Joe Pantaleone, number 2 on that list.
Yeah, because he plays the captain.
Yeah,
There-
anyway,
there's-
that was the framing device for the movie Life, you know, when they're sitting over the top of the grave. And let me tell you a little story about. That would be the thing. You had the 2 guys
yeah.
repairing the ship. And like, look, there's handprints. Let me tell you a little story about Bertram, whatever the fuck his last name was. I don't remember. Actually, I think his last name was Bertram.
who burned up in the sun like a Roman candle. Like
Yep, Roman candles, famous for burning up in the sun.
they are famous for burning up.
In the sun, which was the thing you just said before that. You
Okay,
should have.
half less.
You should have gone with Candle in the Wind. That would have been more apropos.
No, I don't think I don't want Elton John to elude.
It literally fits because we're talking about
Yeah.
one guy talking to another guy about the story of a person who literally burned up. Who doesn't know the story of the guy? I would have liked to known you,
Mhm.
but I was just a kid.
And
Candle burned out long ago.
because I was thinking about a princess. What's her name? Princess Diane, which didn't burn up, but Jesus Christ. Anyway, that's not. Yeah, no. Never mind. So again, stories are. They have more action, more things are happening. They're also shorter and more to the point. But I felt that maybe there was a little more back and forth between Reinhardt's position and this guy's position instead of like, oh, we're going to blow up the ship because I always follow orders and I'm in the military so I can give orders to other people because I'm a dick. You know, that kind of thing. It's
I
like,
guess I don't have a problem with it because it fits. Once again, my previous argument of nothing he did contradict anything about his own character.
Mhm.
But also, if it's procedure, it's procedure, right? The procedure doesn't exist unless there's intent for it to be done.
True.
Versus why I hate some of these military type shows where they. Okay, I don't hate them. But the example that comes to mind is literally when Amuro deserts from White Base in Gundam, and they have to have this like internal debate about what to do with deserters, and they're like, well, we're supposed to shoot deserters, all right? They're supposed to be executed or something, they're court-martial or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're like, should we do that? And it's like, you're acting like a group of civilians. It's like,
because there are
no, they're not. We've already covered this. They're irregulars, which is in fact a military unit.
They don't think themselves as such.
Doesn't matter. Matilda has told Bright that they are. Matilda has told Bright that Rebel considers them to be. Bright is in command of the ship, which means that the commanding officer has been told you are considered an irregular unit. Additionally, the crew has been told this before too. I can't remember to cite example, but I know we've had the discussion about whether Amuro considering himself to be one or not. Doesn't matter because he's been told that he is. So at the end of the day, them choosing to have this like democratic vote about what to do is completely negating the chain of command and the entire process that the military has framed around them.
But at the same time, they're not willing to follow on in that order. Then who's going to carry it out? Is Bright going to just shoot Amuro?
Well, to be fair, most of the bridge crew agreed that he should be treated as a deserter. Probably the writers of the show agreed, because the name of the episode was Amuro Deserts. They didn't say Amuro leaves to find himself, or, Amuro's internal conflict. They called it like it was, Amuro Deserts. It's not like he went to a bar and had some dessert.
Yeah.
So, for you Legend of the Galactic Heroes people that are watching, also our Gundam reactions, that's the crossover there. Not even a timely one, because that's so many episodes ago.
That is true.
But, I mean, that's the thing, right? And I appreciate that when you're in a military sci-fi show, and then you're doing shit, right? By the book, as it were. Because that's what it's there for.
If that's the case, then Reinhard should have faced some consequences for his actions, regardless of.
Well, technically, no. Again, it's chain of command, as you said, is very important, and the chain of command is literally the captain left you in command. Now, it was literally Reinhardt that gave up that command, because the captain never said until X happens. Reinhardt said until we're out of danger. He made that up on his own. He could have held on to command until, whenever.
Yeah.
Until the captain got back to relieve him of command. Or until he got, I had to use the bathroom.
I mean...
Take off the bridge for me.
I mean, if another superior officer gives you an order, count him. The first officer should have had the authority to countermand that order eventually, because otherwise it's a situation where
it's acting rank versus effective rank. I have the effective rank of acting captain, as given to me by higher rank than you. If an admiral tells me to do something, and then the captain comes around and tells me to do something, admiral's orders. The acting captain told me I am captain. You are the first officer. Captains outranks you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that specifically because you were talking about the chain of command before we started watching that episode. So
yeah, that is true. But I think it is because if that were to happen all the time, then nothing would be done. Like if an admiral just...
To be fair, you probably shouldn't be appointing acting captains all the time.
True. But to do anything, right? It's like...
Well, that's why, when the first officer comes on bridge and he says, all right, I'm relieving you of duty. Okay, captain stepping down. First officer has the bridge. You announce these things constantly. So effectively, they are happening all the time. It's just a matter of, normal operation. It's just in this case, I handed off authority to somebody who's on scene.
Yeah. Until relief of duty.
Right, but again, even during relief of duty, the person on duty transfers that authority willingly.
Yeah.
So it would be no different than having a first officer that just refused to get off the bridge.
Yeah.
No, sir, you need your rest. I'm telling you, go get your rest. I refuse to abdicate authority on the bridge.
Yeah. I'll have to double check situation like that.
I don't
It could
think you
go
have to.
either way.
In fact, I don't think you have to because we're going into a desk job after this. So literally, you'll be double checking for nobody. We're not on a bridge anymore. Wait until we're back on a starship, at least. Specifically when Reinhardt's on a starship. Gang is going to be leaning on a corner. It's not going to be important. All right. Well, that has been the last episode of Mutineer. Once again, I have been Theta. This has been Lessons. We've been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?